Sadhguru, whose outlook do you support? Is it the young generation or your own generation?
You're talking about previous generation, I don't belong to that. Nor do I belong to your generation, I belong to the future generations. That's why I'm like this. There is of course a distance between possibility and reality. Some will have the courage and commitment to travel that distance, some will not have the courage and commitment to travel that distance. But every life is a possibility. If you want to keep that possibility open, you never ever form an opinion about anybody of any sort. Good, bad, ugly, you don't form these opinions, you simply look at them right now. How are they right now, this moment? That's all that matters to me. How you were yesterday is not my business. How you may be tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow must be created, not concretized right now, isn't it?
Sadhguru, you are so reverent and you are so cherished. Do you ever get a superiority complex?
The question is not about superiority complex, inferiority complex, poverty complex or wealthy complex. That you have a complex is a serious problem, isn't it? Whatever kind it is. What a complex means is, you have assumed something about yourself and you have concretized that assumption. In such a way, you make a bloody fool of yourself wherever you go. Do I look like that? So all the idiots who think they're right, nobody wants to listen to them, nobody wants to be around them, isn't it?
My question is, I'm pursuing science, and when I talk about yoga and doing Shambhavi in my college, people kind of look down upon me saying, you are a science student, how can you talk about these things?
There is no other science which is as largely applicable as yogic sciences. Most people cannot handle freedom. They are always trying to bind themselves, but only mouthing freedom all the time. If you really set them free, they will suffer immensely. It's my wish and my blessing. Every one of you must have a fantastic life. Make it happen for yourself.
Tamil culture has been shaped by devotion, and the now celebrated devotees like Tirunavukarasar, Sundarar, Tirugnana Sambandar and the Nayanmars and many more. These devotees shaped the Tamil culture steeped in devotion. Why devotion is the heart of this culture? Because the wisdom of this land realized that devotion is a tool for one's dissolution. Devotion is the most powerful way to get yourself focused towards anything that one wishes to realize, not just for the spiritual dimension. Whether it is art, sport, business, politics, whatever, if one is not absolutely devoted, one will never touch significant levels of achievement. One has to dissolve into what they're doing. One has to come to a state of abandon. In this abandon there is ecstasy. In this abandon there is fulfillment. It is through the power of devotion that human beings have scaled heights which normally were not seen as possible. One beautiful expression of this devotional process in this land are the Thevaram, a wonderful expression of human devotion, how a devotee is the basis of the divine, how a devotee becomes the divine, how a devotee dissolves into what he considers is divine and becomes one with it, as salt has become part of the sea. Here, our children from Isha Samskriti render this Thevaram. They have grown up in this culture of devotion. Devotion most people understand as some kind of subservient life. No, a devotee is very clever. A devotee dissolves into his object of devotion and conquers by inclusion, conquers by becoming one with it. There are two ways to take the world, either by conquest or by inclusion. The devotee chooses a wiser and a more intelligent way of doing it, by inclusion, by dissolving.
We must understand this, engineering means essentially to make things happen the way we want it. That's engineering, isn't it? To engineer this building means what? We want it the way we want it. We could have sat under a tree, but we choose to build this building because we want to sit under something engineered the way we want it, as suitable for us. We have conditioned the place because we want the temperature in a certain way. All this we did, but is it not important that you engineer this the way you want it? Hello? Outside is air-conditioned, inside is boiling, what's the point? I'm saying power is being wasted on you. In the last 150 years, with the advent of science and technology, we have more comforts and conveniences than any generation ever could imagine, isn't it? Yes or no? You have more comforts and conveniences than any generation could ever imagine. We are the most comfortable generation ever, physically, materially. But can you say, are you the most peaceful generation? Joyful? Loving? No. Or can you even say you're the most intelligent generation? That'll be a wrong thing to say. Anybody who claims he is intelligent amounts to foolishness, isn't it? Because the significance of intelligence is, it shows you how many loopholes are there in your intelligence. Only a fool thinks there are no loopholes. A truly intelligent person always sees how many loopholes in my intelligence. The significance of being in a technological institute is not about just getting qualified to get some job somewhere or a passport out of the country. It should become a way of creating life, making life happen better than the way it's happening right now, because this is a fundamental responsibility that we have as a generation of people, because we occupy this space on the planet for a short, brief time. When the last generation gave this planet to us, whichever way they gave it, it's our business that when we leave it little better than the way we had it. Very important. How better? In what way better? You can decide that. I won't say only ecologically better, but in every way better. It must be better than the way we got it. This means we have to engineer ourselves to fit in such a way. See, a well-engineered machine means least amount of friction, isn't it so? Yes? A well-engineered machine means what? Least amount of friction. Heavy friction means badly engineered, isn't it? Isn't that the understanding? So the fundamentals of yoga is this. The fundamentals of yoga is in the geometry of physical existence. If you understand the geometry of what this human mechanism is, the body is, the psychological structure is, the chemical processes are, the energy structures are, if you understand the geometry of this and become capable of observing the cosmic geometry, if these two things are well aligned, suddenly your life hits off like a magic. Your life is no more a miserable drag, but it's magical simply because you have gotten the right geometry of things. Anything that is geometrically perfect will function absolutely smoothly and for a very long time. This is something that you must do to yourself when you're young. It doesn't matter what you want to do in your life. One thing must happen, your body and your brain should not come in your way. They must work for you. Yes or no? Hello? Never your body and your mind should not come in the way of who you want to be. Right now for most people, they themselves are a big issue. When you are an issue, how will you address the issues in the world? If you really want to address the issues in the world, this one should never be an issue, isn't it? I am not the issue here, I am never the problem. If there are problems, I will deal with it, but I am never the problem. This must happen to you, isn't it? Please make yourself like this, that you are never the problem, you're always a part of the solution, never a part of the problem. Right now, right now we have developed a certain attitude in the country, a whole lot of people, for every solution they invent a problem. For every solution they have found a problem. So there are people who are working for problems, there are people who are working for solutions. Young people should stand up and become a solution for future generations to come and your own life to blossom. Because the greatest fulfillment in one's life is that you function in such a way that you could do something which is much larger than yourself. This must happen. This is the highest fulfillment of activity, that you are able to do something which is larger than yourself. Only then you will see fulfillment in activity. Activity is one thing, but most important thing is how you are. People come to me like, right now you're all saying your IIT is the problem, so I'm inviting you to IYC, Isha Yoga Center. Lot of people come to me and say, Sadhguru, these are people who passed out, okay? Sadhguru, my mother-in-law, she's another, you know, from somewhere else she is. And you just don't know how to live with this person. And my husband, after all, her son. My wife, impossible. My boss, he's not even human. Like this it goes on. Then I tell them, see, don't worry. Your husband, wife, mother-in-law, boss, nobody will come here, you're protected. Like IIT. Your IYC also well protected. Nobody will come here, you just come and stay. I'll give you a nice place to stay, food is good. You don't have to do anything, just be joyful, that's all. None of these tormentors are there. Just be joyful. 24 hours you leave them in the one room, you must see in how many ways they twist themselves. When you're alone, if you're miserable, you're obviously in bad company, isn't it? So all the young people should do this to yourself. At least for 3 days, 1 week, I will provide you the atmosphere, otherwise you can walk into the Himalayas. But there is no food and supply, you know, you will have to go searching. I will provide you food, everything. Just come, spend some time, not with any purpose, simply. If you sit alone for 3 days, no television, no book, no texting, simply by yourself, let's see what happens. You must know the nature of who you are. You should not go on dodging yourself and one day you will explode into something. You must know what is the level of madness you're suffering. When I say madness, if your mind is out of your control, is that called madness in definition? Hello? If your mind does not take instructions from you, it's out of control, is that called madness? Just try. Just today, after this event, just go sit quietly in your room. Just see what all your mind does. You decide, don't tell anybody. You decide what is the level of madness you're going through. With this, if you enter the world, what will you create? You will only create who you are, isn't it? You cannot do anything other than what you are. What you are is what will happen to the world around you. Before you step out into the world, is it not important at least you're this much equipped that you are not the problem? If you meet a problem and get married, we'll see. But you are not the problem. Can you make this happen for yourself as young people, that you are never the problem? You are not the issue in your life. Other issues, if they come, we will deal with it to the best of our ability, but this should not be an issue, isn't it? This can be easily done, very simple processes. If you invest on 20–30 minutes a day, you can bring this possibility into your life. It is just that it needs a certain orientation, because life is continuously outward. To turn inward, it needs a certain help and situation has to be created to make that happen. We are very much willing to do that with you. It's my wish and my blessing, this must happen to every youth of this country, because India, the people of India has suffered immensely. I don't know to what extent all of you are exposed, many of you are from good families. I have walked through rural societies right from my, early youth. It's not good, believe me. It's just not good, it's not some idyllic situation out there. It is bad. It's very bad. Most parts of the world. Where we are, they say they are the better off states. The better off states are like that. I know the Bimarus, how they are. We can't just live like this. We can't just continue to live like this, insulating our humanity and thinking everything is okay. It's time we have a living humanity, that our heart beats for everything, our heart bleeds for everything, and we will do the best we can do. In our lives, if we do not do what we cannot do, there's no problem. But if we do not do what we can do, we are a disastrous life, isn't it? It's my wish and my blessing, you should not be that disaster.
Namaskar Sadhguruji, this is Ayushman Khurana, and I'm a very politically aware person. And politically, India is in a very vulnerable space because it's a pluralistic society. We have so many cultures, religions, regions, caste, color, creed. And I firmly believe that both extreme right-wing and left-wing are extremely dangerous. And my political standing is probably in the center. So what do you think is the correct stand?
Ayushman, one who lives long, a living democracy means you never take a stance of any kind if you want a living democracy. This happened in a very strong way in United States. This became like two different religions in United States. Are you Democrat or you Republican? No, my grandfather was a Republican, my father was a Republican, so I'm also Republican. All decided beforehand. So, in a living democracy, you should never take a stance, this is something we've forgotten. Our country is also moving in that direction. Do you belong here or there? Well, I've not made up my mind for the next election. Let me see. Who performs how? Who makes more sense? Am I right, left, center? No. The moment you take this stance, you are destroying democracy because you are taking it back to feudalism. This tribe means we will only vote this way, that tribe means we'll only vote that way. You finished off the democracy, there is no democracy left. Right now, in United States, I think the deciding factor is only about 4 to 5% of the people decide who wins, who loses. Rest of the people are all fixed already. In India, the percentage probably is in the range of 10 to 12%, maybe maximum 15%. But I think post this coming election,
we will also get to percentages like United States, because it is getting so vitiated that you have to belong here or there. You cannot say you don't belong anywhere. I don't care who you elected. The important thing is, change of power happens without bloodshed. That's the big thing about democracy. Slowly, as you become tribal mindset, I belong to this tribe or that tribe, you're again taking it back to your place where there will be tribal warfare every time we want to change power. This is what will happen. So, Ayushman, you should not take any stance. At the end of 4.5 years, take 4 to 6 months to evaluate what has happened. Whatever has happened in this 4.5 years, is it worthwhile to give them one more chance? Or is it better to get a new set of people? Is something that every citizen must take a call in the last 3 to 6 months. So, it is time that we mature as a democracy. There is no need to take any stance.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. This is Vishnu from Coimbatore. How would you define India?
India is it's like a kaleidoscope. It's a conscious chaos. At one time, we consciously created some chaos, intentionally. But unfortunately, some people are overdoing it today. They made it their profession to create chaos. We need to handle that. But why this conscious chaos is? Because we understood organization in a different way. If you step out of this hotel, you will see a manicured garden. But every day, 10 people are working on it to keep it that way. 3 months, if nobody attended to that, there'll be no garden left. But you come into the jungle, you come into the forest, there is a different kind of organization and order there, which million years later, it will still be there without any maintenance. So something that lasts a million years, is it better organized? Something that cannot last even a month without maintenance is better organized. So we organize this culture with a certain element of conscious chaos. But today, because your education systems are totally westernized, which is all straight lines, you're trying to fit India into these straight lines, it will not fit, you will only be frustrated. And in trying to fix that, you will destroy the nation. We need to understand, we have allowed a certain room for chaos so that it's an evolving process. It is not a fixed thing, it is not ruled by commandments. There is nowhere in this country where there is been given a moral code to you. There is nowhere in this country where they told you, this is God, and if you go to Him, all problems will be solved. There is no such thing. There is no a God. First of all, there is no the God in this country. There is no the heaven in this country. Everybody can create their own, you know. We are given the freedom to create our own gods. Out of this came the technologies of God-making. We created 33 million gods and goddesses because there is no certainty. The idea of a kaleidoscope is wonder, seeking. So we have always been a land of seekers, not a land of believers. Now you're trying to become land of believers. I see we believe something. No. Every day, everybody these days are saying we believe, because they are trying to bring a westernized idea of organization. You must understand all the violence, all the nonsense, all the most horrendous things that happen on this planet is always in terms of one man's belief versus another man's belief. So we never believed anything. Even if God came and spoke, we questioned Him, isn't it? This is the nature of this culture. Everywhere else, if God spoke, they said, this is it, this is the commandment. In this country, if God came and spoke, we still debated with Him, we questioned Him. Unless it's logically correct, we did not accept it. This has been the ethos of this culture. This causes a certain amount of chaos, but this chaos is evolution of human consciousness too. Every culture has been created because of its geographical conditions, because of certain survival factors, and other historical events that happen in that place, culture gets shaped. We also have some element of that, but a large element of this culture is about consciously seeking what is beyond all this. Because of this, in this culture, God, heaven were never important things. Our highest ideal is mukti or liberation or freedom. Freedom has always been the highest goal, not God. Because we know, even if we go to heaven and sit next to God, in 3 days we'll get bored with Him also. Yes, we will, isn't it? And do you have any proof that you're not already in heaven and messing it up? I'm asking, do you have proof? You don't have proof. Maybe you're in heaven and you're messing it completely. Yes, that's a reality, I'm telling you.
So let's talk about the concept of a guru. What is a guru and how does one find a guru? And why is it that different people have different gurus? Why is there… like there's one God, there could be one guru, right? So, okay, everybody goes there.
You're wrong. In India we have 36 million gods and goddesses.
Okay.
So, what is a guru? The word guru literally means… gu means darkness,
Yeah,
ru means dispeller.
yeah,
One who dispels your darkness is a guru.
yeah.
You can call him a light bulb if you want.
Yes, okay.
He's on, that's all. So, what you cannot see, he's able to make you see.
Yeah,
So that's a guru.
yeah,
Or to put it in other terms, essentially because you're trying to make a journey and you're seeking a guru, he's like a roadmap. He's like a live roadmap.
yeah.
When you want to travel uncharted terrain, you will find it's extremely important. Roadmap is more than God. So you will see in the tradition, Guru is greater than God, all this they're saying because a live roadmap is more important than anything when you're lost in a unknown terrain.
Yeah.
So can't I find my way without a guru? That's always the question. This question is coming from a certain egoistic standpoint. Why can't I do it myself? See, do one thing. Using a watch, right?
Right. No, I'm not,
I'll
but
give
I
you
can
all
see.
the parts for the watch.
Yeah,
You build your own watch. Let me see. Something… it's very simple. I'm not asking you to build a computer or a spacecraft. I'm just telling a simple thing like a watch. Most people have gotten rid of their watches today because they're looking at time in their cell phones or computers. So, an obsolete instrument like this, I'll give you all the parts, you put it together, let me see.
Yeah.
You may take a lifetime, I'm saying.
yeah,
Something so simple. So, you go to your watchmaker for a watch. So, what's your problem going to a guru for something that you do not know?
yeah, but there is something different here. Now, when I walk around Isha, as we'll see soon, what I notice among most people is, the closest I can describe it is devotion. Some people would call it worship. Now, when you find a guru, it's not an intellectual, I mean, it's not… making a watch could be an intellectual exercise. Yet, finding yourself or finding something divine or living in the divine, what is this concept of difference? Where do you come in with devotion and worship? Can your guru help you without a sense of divinity that you find in the guru? So, I've used 3 words: worship, devotion, and non-intellectual.
Yes. So, yes, I don't know how to make a watch, but I could transcend my present limitations and go into other dimensions. Why do I need to seek that kind of support, a subjective support? Because a watch is something else.
Yeah.
The guru is dealing with you,
Yes.
okay? Because you are the subject here, not another object. So, the devotion that you see around, you must understand one thing, at no point are we teaching devotion, are we encouraging devotion. But why do people seem to be so, overwhelmed by the whole thing is, see, suppose you are in a desert and let's say you're really thirsty, so thirsty that you thought you will die. And if somebody gave you a glass of water, would it be not natural for you to bow down to him? You don't have thoughts, oh, this is God, this is that, that is if you are trained that way. Otherwise, simply as a human being, just out of gratitude, wouldn't you be overwhelmed and bow down to him? Yes. So what you see here is just that. Nobody has taught them that they should bow down, nobody has taught them they should be this way or that way. That is not at all encouraged. But because of what they have received, the overwhelming nature of what they have received, when that sense of overwhelming experience is happening within a human being, to bow down is a very, very natural thing.
Yeah.
So, why is it, I want to ask you this question, why is it the moment somebody begins to think that he's an intellectual, he's against devotion? I'm asking you, you're a filmmaker. Could you make a good film without being devoted to it?
No. There's no passion, there's no devotion, there's no film.
Then nothing beautiful happens in your life.
No.
So now the devotion is not exactly towards me as a person, but the devotion is towards me as a possibility in their life, not me as a person. So nobody creates anything truly worthwhile without being absolutely devoted to it. It cannot happen.
Sure, there are many budding entrepreneurs that are in this room. What's your advice to them to start new businesses, increase the levels of employment for the 50% unemployed youth that we have in our country, and grow our economy so that everybody can be more prosperous, 1% or not?
There are many things that need to be done, there's no one particular thing. But entrepreneurship is something that needs a certain psychological ecology of its own. You will see those youth who come from business families so effortlessly create businesses. Those who don't come from that ecosystem, they struggle and they can't figure it out. It's not lack of intelligence, it is lack of experience and exposure. So I would say one of the things is the youth who are wanting to do something, I'm sure there are many of them, if some kind of selection can be made and they're exposed to enterprises in similar conditions. Let's say in rural India, how people… any number of enterprise. India is a land of enterprise because till 2000, only 3% of Indians were employed, 97% were self-employed. So whether he may be selling 5 kilograms of vegetable or fruit or maybe a very large billion-dollar business, it doesn't matter. Even he understands how to do business, where he has to position himself, what he has to say, what he should not say. These are simple things, but till you're in it, you don't learn. So, learning this experience, not necessarily from the public, but there are institutes and institutions in India which can teach entrepreneurship. We ourselves in Isha are starting a leadership academy in Bangalore city, where youth from these countries can come and get exposed to variety of enterprise. I mean, the incredible thing right now in India is, the variety of enterprise is unbelievable. When you go for so much enterprise, some of them will fail, so it needs a net to hold them so that they don't fall back onto the street or hang from a tree, which is unfortunately happening here and there. But it is time to do that because we have chosen market economy. There is no other way than to unbridled enterprise. Is it the best thing? I'm saying no. But right now, to get people out of their poverty situations, to make sure everybody eats. When I say everybody eats, in India it's very true, I'm sure, here also to some extent, but wherever I go, in any country, first thing I see is what's the condition of the children. I find, to my joy, the condition of the South African children is way better than the conditions of the Indian children in rural India. It's a very good thing to see. At least they're better nourished for whatever reason. In India, this is true that a child has to go to school and spend 8 hours there, but he has not eaten what he needs to eat to stay alert for these 8 hours and grasp whatever he's supposed to grasp. A farmer goes to his field and he's not eaten what he should eat to do that hard task of, farming. or a pregnant woman has not eaten what she should eat to produce a lively, healthy child. These are terrible things. But these terrible things are happening because populations are large and we are not able to create a social net. So this is why this corporate social responsibility was brought in, but people find ways to use this money in so many different ways, that's another matter. But social net has to happen. But the danger of social nets is always about destroying the work culture and breeding lethargy. This is something the administrators have to carefully… I would say it needs a certain level of heartlessness where tough decisions have to be made. People are suffering, but still you make tough decisions so that long term it works out well for you. That today you start doling out food to everybody, you will see. If you want to destroy a nation, you don't have to bomb it, you just destroy its work culture, it's finished.
Look, I have to congratulate you. You made it through a deep, unfiltered video. That takes attention, openness, and courage. So leave your city in the comments, or share a quote that stuck with you. If you feel this could help someone, send it their way. Thank you, Big Hug, and until next time.